Okay, I think we are live. What's going on, everybody in YouTube world? This is the GoatCast podcast for the 1st of October. I'm CW, your host, and we got my co-host here, BigNige. What's going on, BigNige?
I know y'all can notice I got a haircut. Finally got that bird nest off my head. Feels a little lighter up here. So all in all, it's gonna be good, and it's gonna be a good show today. So I'm ready to get
Well,
started.
hopefully, losing some of that hair will help your brain not talk much about LeBron James. But also, we got my man Sports Talk Only here. What's going on, Sports Talk?
What's up, man?
What's going on? You over there
My bad.
chilling?
I was looking at something. My bad.
Okay, no problem. All right, we're going to start. Of course, the main topic for today is we're going to revisit that controversial conversation we had a couple of weeks ago about LeBron James. Could he dominate the '90s? And we'll have some stuff for that, and we're going to let these guys go off and let you know if they think so, which we all know what the answer to that is. But starting off, we just want to pay respects to one of the Hall of Famers of the NBA. Rest in peace to Dikembe Mutombo, who passed away, I believe it was yesterday from he had brain cancer. One of the most feared defenders back in the 90s. I remember him from the Denver Nuggets and Hawks. It didn't matter who you were, he was going to get you at some point, and he got just about everybody you can think of during that time. So just a sad moment for the NBA world. Anything you guys got to say?
Yeah, just I was actually gonna mention that. I just want to say rest in peace. That's all. Not really anything
Okay.
else to say.
Yep.
And for me, I would just say, obviously, we see the whole finger wave and how iconic that was, but I guess he doesn't. I mean, I know he gets a lot of credit for being one of the best defensive bigs ever, but you truly don't, you know, realize how special someone is until they're gone. So it's good to have all these debates about all these players, while they're still here. But just remember to also cherish players like LeBron and all these other players, while they're still here, because life is too short.
Yeah. Yeah. Give everybody their flowers while they're here. Another player we should give flowers to is Derrick Rose, who retired earlier, I believe at the end of last week, at age 35. He was a former MVP, three-time All-Star, Rookie of the Year, had that Chicago Bulls team just killing them, was the top team, I believe, in 2011 when he won his MVP. Of course, ran into the Miami Heat, wasn't quite prepared for that, but still, I don't like the woulda, coulda, shoulda, what if stuff, but it's kind of tragic that he just didn't get to his full potential, even during his MVP run. He hadn't even reached his potential yet, his peak. So unfortunately, we have to we'll say goodbye to him. But anything, you guys, because I know he cooked Austin. Well, he cooked them when he could, but not in the playoffs, of course. But anything y'all got to say about Derrick Rose
Oh man,
retiring?
he was one of my favorite players to watch in his. I don't know if you would say his prime. I don't even know if he would say he reached his prime yet, but he was just one of my favorite players to watch back then. Just the athleticism and everything. And I just remember one of the last games where he was really. This was in I think 2015. Probably the last game I saw him was when he went up against the Warriors. I don't know if y'all seen that game. He was cooking Steph and Clay. Hit a
Oh
game winner
yeah.
on them. Yeah,
Man, I'm a
but
Spurs fan. He used to, I mean, he made Tony Parker, all them guys look like they weren't on the floor.
no, just I do wish he just didn't get injured. I
Mhm.
think he would have been the best point guard of this era, not Curry.
I agree. I agree.
Definitely. The only thing I like to add, growing up being a big LeBron fan means we always, back when he was in Miami, Chicago was like the only team that really was a team that kind of made me sweat a little bit. The Pacers were also pretty nice too, but that Chicago Bulls team, for whatever reason, would always like smack us in the regular season, and then come postseason to be a different story. But I just remember D Rose. I know that iconic layup where he gets over LeBron and D Wade back in the playoffs. I was just always so like anxious when they would play the Bulls, because I knew just how like electric Derrick Rose was. So, shout out to him. Obviously, what it could have been career, but in terms of what we did see when he was going, will probably never be matched by anyone that size with that much athleticism and quickness and craftiness. We'll never see that again.
Yeah, man. You hate to see somebody at 35 because you just think, I believe LeBron was, did he won a championship at close to that age?
Yeah, he was 35.
35,
Yeah.
yeah. So, he had there was just so much potential there that we just didn't get to see, unfortunately. That his knee just would not act right. I just wish maybe he did the stem cell stuff that I believe Kobe did, and I think Steph did that for his ankle when he was injury prone his first couple seasons. You kind of wish he had done something to fix that, but unfortunately, he didn't, but he still had a pretty good career. He ended it with the Grizzlies. They waived him earlier last week, and the rest is history. But kudos and flowers to Derrick Rose, a throwback. He was a throwback player in the 2010s and into the 2020s. Right before we get to the main topic, we got to talk about the trade. Is this the Dame Lillard Drew Holiday trade from last year? Is this the blockbuster that was, which helped one get to a championship and the other kind of, we don't know, we didn't know what to expect? But the trade I'm talking about is the New York Knicks traded for Karl Anthony Towns in exchange for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. I could never say his name, but close enough. What do you guys think about this trade? Did the Knicks do themselves a service by getting Cat, or a disservice? And who do you think won this trade?
You could go ahead and take that one. I need a little more time to think about that.
All right. For me, I think the Knicks won this trade. I think everybody, at least their initial look, they believe, they got Cat. They got, an all-star level center. They've needed some upgrades at that position, especially after Isaiah Hartenstein left. But now you have a stretch five, which means that gives more spacing for guys like Jalen Brunson, who's a 6'1" post scorer, apparently. So that's good for the Knicks. They have some versatility. Obviously, they can still replicate the same thing Minnesota did, where like sometimes you can run Cat at the 4 and Mitchell Robinson at the 5 for when the Knicks play those bigger teams that would beat them up in the past, like Milwaukee or the 76ers with Embiid, things of that nature. Because even though Cat isn't the greatest defender, we've seen him in spot minutes where he can use his size and his length to bother, interior players. He did a pretty good job with some help, obviously, behind him against Nikola Jokic. So we've seen what he can do on the defensive end. I'm not saying he's going to be some rim protector or anything like that, but he's definitely a really good offensive piece for them, and he gives them a lot of lineup versatility. On the Timberwolves side, obviously getting Julius Randle, everybody's kind of confused. I know I was confused, at least, because in terms of spacing, he obviously doesn't provide that. And you already have, Rudy Gobert, who's a non-factor out there. McDaniels, he's a big wing. He's not the greatest shooter. He's shown that he can hit them, especially this last postseason. I think he was somewhere hovering between 40 to 41% from downtown. So he's definitely shown the capability to do that. We need to see that more on a consistent level. But, Anthony Edwards, he was pretty close with Cat. So to see Cat go out the way he did when it kind of seemed like nobody really understood why, I know. So that's something at least to look at for Minnesota. I know that Cat didn't play very well in the Western Conference Finals, obviously. He was kind of shot them out of that series, didn't exploit mismatches, things of that nature. But we also understand Towns is notorious for not playing well in the postseason. His numbers statistically drop. Could that be from other factors? We don't know, but we do understand his numbers do drop in the postseason. So you got to watch out for that if you're New York. But I think, honestly, the best fit for the Timberwolves would have been Naz Reid, like to play that 4 spot. So maybe they're looking to move Julius Randle. Maybe this is just part one of a future trade down the road. Maybe you shop Randall for some more depth, maybe get some more floor spacing. I don't really know. Maybe even another playmaker. Who knows? But at least for Dante DiVincenzo, I think that's a really good pickup for them. A really good shooter. He can do some things for you for that Minnesota team, which they definitely could have benefited from his services in this past year. Obviously, the run he had for New York. So obviously he provides that floor spacing that they've been kind of desperately needing. But it's just the question mark, obviously, just like for the Knicks when they had Julius Randle is, what's he going to look like? Is he going to get shopped for something else down the road? And if not, again, what kind of lineup are you going to put around Anthony Edwards with Julius Randle on the floor?
Well, real quick, shout out to RJD podcast, the guys from the Vandy Sports Debates crew. Hopefully, hoping to have you guys on next week. So, thanks for stopping by. So, Sports Talk, what do you think about this trade? Who won, and is this going to benefit both or just one of these teams?
I'm still kind of pondering the question because
It's a hard one because
it's hard for me to really see. I guess I would just have to see it play out. But
yeah,
there is something that BigNige just said that I kind of want to mention as to a real reason why I can't answer that question too. He's talking about Karl Anthony Towns in the postseason, and that's a big that's a big reason why I kind of can't. I don't know. It's hard to see right now for me. So I don't know who I would say won that trade.
yeah. To me, it seems like a lateral move because I don't want to say they're similar, but they can do the same thing for you. They could shoot you into a game. They can shoot you out of a game. I would trust Cat a little more in that role than I would Julius Randle, but it's just the Knicks I thought were doing the right things, and this just seems like I mean, I know they wanted to get rid of Randle at some point probably, but Dante seemed like he was a good fit for that Knicks team. He had the Nova Knicks, and they brought in the new guys, and they just seemed like that was a good little group to have, a tough group. They toughed it out last year, even when Brunson and everybody went down eventually. But Cat just doesn't seem. I mean, Cat has played for Tom Thibodeau, so maybe he has something that he's devising to do with Cat, but it's a weird trade to me. This one, like you guys said, I gotta see how it plays out because I don't see this as being a great move for the Knicks because I just don't know if Cat will fit with that group. I just don't see it.
How?
I don't.
I'm confused. How?
He doesn't fit the kind of. It's like him going to the old grit and grind Grizzlies. He just doesn't fit that mold, I don't think. And the Knicks seem like a little tougher team, especially when during the playoffs, during the postseason, that were just grinding out wins. And he just didn't seem like the type of player you want to have to trust to kind of just fight for a win. And he's a good player, but I gotta see what they do with Mitchell Robinson. If they get another big, then maybe I'd feel a little
They,
better. But I don't. I just don't
they
see
need
it. I
three
don't.
bigs. They need three of them.
Who's the other one they have?
No, I'm saying like you're saying they would need to get another big, but like
No, I'm saying I would if they're going to move Mitchell Robinson somewhere and get another big or find another big that I think kind of fits with Cat. But I don't think I would play Cat at the 5.
well, no, that's what I was saying. I wouldn't think you'd play him like against Embiid and Giannis, like
Yeah,
because those guys are bigger and more like physically imposing than him. That's why I would say keep Mitchell at the 5. He's shown that he can hold his own. He's not going to,
but he's injury
shut down
prone.
Embiid. I mean, he is injury prone, and that's obviously a question mark. But at least you can have those lineups where you can put Towns on the bigger player and kind of have Mitchell Robinson roam, like similar to what they did in Minnesota, where Towns would guard Jokic and you'd have Rudy Gobert kind of roam. I think
Yeah,
the Knicks can do something very similar with Mitchell Robinson.
yeah. I guess so. If they had lost Hartenstein, I'd feel a little better for
Yeah.
that lineup. But if Mitchell Robinson is going to be in and out, then I'm kind of weary, but I guess
You gotta look at the money too, because Cat
yeah,
was scheduled to make some big money, and he, obviously underperformed. So that could be them kind of saving themselves in the long run with unloading his contract, kind of going all in on Nas Reed, who's a very good backup, to potentially get some depth in maybe the wing or guard position.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I just gotta see. I gotta see how it plays out. But real quick, we're going to welcome our guest, the Casual. Put his link in the community tab, so go check him out. Thank you for joining us tonight. We're talking
I
about
appreciate it, family.
we talk about the Cat trade to the Knicks for Julius Randle and the rest. You have any thoughts on that? Who you think won that trade, and uh, do you think it benefits both teams or just one or the other
I think
team?
it benefits both teams. I think Cat coming to the Knicks, I think it helps diversify their offense. Defensively, they have more than enough perimeter defenders. So what he lacks in guarding in space and even his rim protection not being like necessarily something to write home about, I think it's fine in this sense because they have players that are currently in place that can be able to play the role of pseudo rim deterrence. OG Ananobi, he did a lot of that last season to help them until he got hurt in the Indiana series. um Getting Mikal Bridges helps versus keep things on the perimeter to where you don't need to have like a switch heavy defense. So that keeps
Mhm.
Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns out of the way. Now, when they go up against these competent teams like Phoenix and Boston and even Milwaukee, like they gonna be in a little bit of trouble because those teams they're hunting for the mismatch in any way possible. But for the most part, I think that this trade sort of sealed them in the sense of they're going down the path of versatility. They have versatility at basically every position, right?
I
Then
didn't think
except for
about
the
that.
point guard position.
That's true. I didn't think about that. That they get a little versatile. Where do you think the Knicks will end up? I know I've got to do my last division rankings, but and, and I know you did yours before BigNige. You did yours before this trade. Does that change
Yeah,
anything for you for Minnesota? Do you think that bumps them up, or do you think they're going to still be where you put them?
I would put them down. They'd
Oh,
probably be the third team. I'd probably put Denver back up to number two.
you
Uh,
think this makes them worse?
yeah,
You
I
talk about
mean,
Minnesota?
yeah, Minnesota. I think it makes
Yeah,
them worse
agreed.
because it at least it puts them a step back because now you're putting in a new piece. Like I said, Nas Reed is the better fit for what they got going on in Minnesota. So that's why I'm very interested to see what they'll do with Randall because obviously he's not a floor spacer. He can do some other, other things for you, but like just in terms of what kept that team afloat and what kept them good, especially when you already have Rudy Gobert on the floor, it was Cat's shooting ability. So now you put Randall there. Now you got to switch up the lineups because you can't have Anthony Edwards, Randall, and Gobert on the floor at the same time because there's no space for Anthony Edwards to get out and dominate and paint.
You don't think Randall could sit on the three?
If he's sitting on the three, his defender's sitting in the paint.
Well,
I'm just
true.
saying,
Uh,
consistently at least
Him
he can
shooting,
still
yeah,
hit though.
him sitting at the three. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Defenses that's what they're hoping for. They're hoping that Minnesota has Julius Randle play the same way that Karl Anthony Towns did. Those are not the same caliber players.
nah, they're not the same shooters. I know that much.
Yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I gotta see it because I don't.
I like the
You t-
move. I like the move in long
yeah,
term.
yeah,
Cap
but like
flexibility is what they were looking for.
yeah, like you said, maybe they're looking to maybe move Randall at some point.
Mhm.
I'm not sure when he could be traded. Maybe by trade deadline. Uh, yeah, that's to me. Yeah, I don't think Minnesota. I think this helps my Denver Nuggets, who I'm a semi fan of. I think that moves us up a little bit because we don't have to worry about now. If that matchup was happening in the playoffs like it did last year, I think we easily get to that conference finals. But
Now that's the biggest winner in all of this. Now that I think about it, that's the biggest one
Yeah.
in all of this. Yeah,
Yeah.
because Denver was. I'm not gonna lie to you. Denver was sort of grasping at straws, trying to figure out a way for them to be able to like withstand
Mm.
the double big lineup that Timber was known
Yeah.
at, and for you to
Yeah.
voluntarily nuke.
Yeah. Yeah. Because they
I
gave
see.
Jokic all kind of trouble. I mean, he's a big guy, but he usually doesn't seem tired. He looked tired at the end of
hmm
Game
Game
7.
seven.
He just didn't look like he had anything left in the tank. And I just figured they would see that blueprint and kind of use it to keep moving. I mean, of course, they lost to the Mavs, but I believe they were just somewhat out of steam there too. What's up, Ice B-Ball? Yeah, we'll let you in. We'll start letting people in once we get to the main topic, which is coming up soon. And let you guys comment and ask questions, whatever you want to do. So we saying both teams are winners, or more so the Knicks? What's the consensus here?
I got the Knicks.
The Knicks winners.
I just don't know until I see it play out. That's how I look at it, man. I can't call it.
Currently, I got the Knicks. Long term, I think Minnesota made the right move with this.
Okay. So I can't call it. So I'm kind of like Sports Talk. I got to see it to really get a good grasp on what's going to go on there. But with that said, we kind of ran through the news. Of course, we got training camps going on about 3 weeks away from the tip-off. So we'll be covering some of that later. But we're going to revisit something that we talked about when we had our kind of larger panel. We had sports and fitness, and a couple other people came on, and somehow me saying that we were going to say who could dominate the 90s from the current era without mentioning LeBron turned into mentioning LeBron. So let's recap. Let's revisit that real quick. And
They did you so dirty, BigNige. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Thank
You
you.
should have called me, man. I would have came, man, because that was, bro. Like when I say everything I was hearing was just like, no, that did not happen. That did not happen. When she was talking about 2011, I'm like, the way that you're describing that going down, that is not how that happened
At all. Like
Yeah.
at
none
all.
whatsoever.
And then she was like, I think she said something along the lines of, what does passing matter? Because you was talking about LeBron's passing in the 90s would be valuable. She was like, what does passing matter? And then she brought up Jokic in the Olympics, and you were like, how much did he score? And she was like, oh, so assists don't matter now?
All right.
yeah, I mean, it got a little kind of
It
went
was
off the rails
crazy.
for a little while, but we're going to listen to a little bit of that.
So
Okay.
what
Oh, go
mindset?
ahead.
Well, you're talking about the mindset of the guys, and you're saying they're going to be more defensive minded going against him. Like I said, there is no one-on-one coverage for LeBron James. He's too good of a passer. If you think that you can stop him one-on-one,
there are no passing lanes that you're talking about in these eras that you're talking about. You're talking about making these passes. Listen, I'm not saying that LeBron James is one-on-one coverage. This is called the way they play the game. The lane's going to be clogged. So if LeBron James off the perimeter, you said he had cat-like quickness. Like, you actually threw LeBron James and Michael Jordan in the same sentence as quickness, which is insane to me.
you would
Let's say
go
here's
look
the
at how
case
they.
of Michael
You
Jordan,
can
right?
you can see
So
just how
now
fast
Michael
both
Jordan,
can go down
LeBron James,
there.
he penetrates the lane. What
That's where you messed up right there, BigNige. That's where you messed up right there.
man, when I talk about the mindset, think about LeBron James for a second. When you watch LeBron James play, what do you notice? LeBron James gets grazed. You've seen the replay. I know you've seen it. LeBron James does not get touched in the replay. And yet it's still, he flies into the third row, knocking over drinks. What are we doing here? This is
That's
not
reffing.
a true basketball player that could play in those eras. That's the mindset of LeBron James.
No, but that's the reffing. Like my point earlier.
The ref threw him into the third row.
If that's what it's going to take to get a call, that's what you have to do. As an offensive player, your job is to score. And if you have to sell a call to get a foul, that's on the refs. That's not.
Okay, we ain't gonna play the whole clip, but you get the gist of it.
Can I preface my comments real quick?
Go ahead.
Okay, because when we did that, I wasn't in no shape ready to have that whole GOAT debate, MJ versus Bron. I literally said I think LeBron could dominate the 90s. And then what I was going to say before I got cut off and everything, I was going to get to my point about Nikola Jokic and how I thought he would do really good in the 90s for all the other reasons I laid out later. But I was not prepared. I wasn't trying to have that conversation because I know how toxic it was going to get. I wanted to keep the temperature really cool in there. But literally, once I said that, it all went to you know what. So
Yeah.
Can I
So
just say one thing about the
yeah,
comment about guard the paint being clogged in the 90s?
yeah. Go ahead.
That's a like I don't know why that misconception of like the way that the 90s defense was set up is just like that inaccurate. Consider that you could just literally go back and watch. Most of the defenses were on the weak side majority because the offense was structured to where it was daring you to double team because when illegal defenses got implemented,
Mhm.
if either you fully commit to double teaming or you don't double team at all and you leave that man on an island. And
Mhm.
so in the case of LeBron, he's essentially getting a plethora of isolation ability, which allows him to barrel towards the rim. And to be honest with you, with the way that the defense was structured, like let's use Houston for example. The only person that LeBron would meet at the rim is Hakeem. Otis Thorpe wouldn't be able to make it in time because he would be too far on the weak side guarding the
Mhm.
mid range to cover over there without fouling. Like if he like you know what I'm saying like physics comes into play at that point. If you run fast enough, you can't stop yourself at a halt. Like very rarely do we find defensive players that have that ability. So the only way that you'll be able to catch LeBron by the time he gets downhill is if you are either A already there or near to that vicinity. And Hakeem is the only person in that defensive set that would be in the vicinity. So that's why, like, I didn't like that argument that he made.
Yeah, that came out of the blue. Yeah, it was kind of just we had some guests come in and make some comments. I kind of put it on the screen and then it erupted from there. But so let's do this properly.
I got
We're
set up.
gonna let everybody get their thoughts out on this time. So we'll start with our guest here, the casual. Could LeBron James? Because I'm gonna throw some stuff at y'all in a few minutes. I'm gonna
Okay.
let you guys go. But could LeBron James dominate the '90s?
Yes. Um, and the reason why I think he can is because primarily his game, as far as transition play, I think that that would translate perfectly into the 90s. Most of like because I'm assuming we're talking about prime LeBron when he's at the peak of his athletic ability. What made him special on the defensive end is how he attacked the passing lanes to create turnovers and get fast breaks. That, like in any era, is translating. And especially in the 90s where, the primarily the offense that you were looking for was transition offense because the defense was set up to, slow down so much that you sort of had to, you know what I'm saying? You sort of had to get it how you could. I think LeBron's transition defense and offense would translate. And then in the half court set, one of the things that I do think is underrated, and I like that you pointed out last time you guys spoke about this, Big Notch. I think his post passing, especially in isolation, because like in some of these situations, we do have to take into account like there were teams that were willing to double team and fully sell out on double teaming and leave a particular player open. There just wasn't that many players that were equipped as a passer to be able to do those things. And so I do think that LeBron he could be able to take advantage a la a Charles Barkley for Phoenix. I think being put in that situation like that, I think LeBron benefits perfectly.
Okay. How about you, Sports Talk? Could LeBron James dominate the '90s?
Yeah. I just want to go over some quotes real quick. So this video on my page. You can look at it. It's inside. I think it's inside the NBA or something like that. But quote Steve Kerr. He's a top 5 to 10 player of all time. It's a dumb question. Charles Barkley. There's always been a player you could compare someone to. LeBron is the first player that no one can be compared to. There've always been 6'7" or 6'8", 230-pound guys with skill, but LeBron outweighs them by 30 pounds. Kenny Smith, he transcends eras. He's an athletic Oscar Robertson, but 3 inches bigger. and he's an athletic magic in the 80s and 90s. Dominic Wilkins, he would be outlawed in the 90s. He's a guy that's 6'8", 260, 270 with unbelievable speed. It's never been seen before. Steve Smith, he would have been even better in the 90s. And Michael Jordan was asked to name in the modern era players that would have the same or similar level of success in the 90s. He named Dirk, Tim Duncan, Kobe, and of course LeBron James.
Okay. How about you, BigNige?
I think the question should be, instead of could LeBron dominate in the 90s? It's more like, would the 90s survive LeBron? And I say that
man.
obviously not trying to start nothing, but just in all honesty, like kind of like going with like what Sports Talk Only said, like you just look at the players who played in the 90s and played in that era, and they have all these colorful comments about LeBron and what he would do in their era. Like, this is them saying, it's not for like fans speculating. We can go over the numbers. We can talk about how he's one of the best, drivers of the basketball, how great he is in transition, passing ability, like all these things. Obviously, him being in the 90s, if we're putting, peak LeBron in there, he'll have to change his game a little bit. Not to say like obviously he'll probably play in the post more, like the casual spoke about, like his passing ability in the post. We've seen him, showcase that in many playoff series and many games in the regular season. He already has that, and he could easily translate that skill, and especially with the illegal defense they had in the 90s, like I said, where you have to, stay arm's length within your man. And if you cheat, then, you get burned. And so like, like Barkley, like how Sports Talk Only was talking about, he said when comparing him and Jordan, LeBron's bigger, stronger, faster than MJ, and Barkley played against MJ. So he knows, he played in that era. So again, he would know. And you got Malone, when they talk about just how big and how fast LeBron is, Malone's quoted saying, like, he's my size or bigger. And we know that Karl Malone is a pretty big dude. And so it's just, even like Magic Johnson, as great as he was, the passer that he was, even he had to give it up to LeBron in terms of his passing ability, because he's never seen anyone that big, that strong, that fast, that good at passing. It's just, there's just too many ways that I could see LeBron dominate in the 90s. Am I saying he's going to be better than everybody in every given season? Obviously, MJ's in the 90s, so you have to have that separate conversation with MJ fans. But for me personally, I believe he would dominate in the 90s.
Okay, so this is where I'm gonna pick y'all's brains real quick. So when you say dominate, is what you mean from a statistical standpoint, or would he dominate as far as winning? Do you think you could plug him into any 90s team or most 90s teams, and he would be that transformative player that boost them over the 96, or not just 96 Bulls, but boost them over any of those Bulls teams during those 90s runs, or any of those Houston Rockets teams during that time? Do you think he's going to dominate just from a statistic standpoint, or from both winning and stats, or one of the other? What do y'all mean? What are you thinking about when you're saying that he would dominate, is what I really want to ask. And it's open to anybody.
Wait, who's answering? Who's answering first?
Anybody can go.
Oh, dude. I think as far as impact individually, I think he'll dominate. Um, I think as far as team success, I think especially in the 90s, because like this is the part where like I low key do believe, like when he said, "Will the '90s survive LeBron?" I think we're low key OD on that one, because I do believe like there is something to be said about team structure based on the player style. So, like for instance, if LeBron is playing on a team like the Phoenix Suns, like I mentioned earlier, maybe a team that matches his pace and defense in the passing lanes, like a Seattle SuperSonics, I think he can be ultra successful. He could be ultra successful. But if he goes to a team like who's a good team? If he goes to a team like Miami, right? At that point in time, I think although defensively the upside can be like very high, I don't think they have the offensive like firepower that can be able to take them over the top against against a team like the Bulls, right?
Hmm.
Or a team like a team like New York. I think him and Patrick Ewing's offensive skill set, as far as like at that time, especially like if we're talking about prime LeBron, like floor spacing, like individually, even though I think he's capable of doing so, it's not going to be enough to where it should garner a reason for him to operate mainly on the perimeter. So I still think
Hmm.
he'll mainly be operating in the paint. But if Patrick Ewing is operating in the paint too, it sort of becomes redundant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that those type of teams, I don't think the team itself will be that successful, but I think individually, I absolutely think he can dominate.
Okay. Sports talk.
I just think it depends on what team you throw him on. Like, if he's on a bottom feeder team, obviously he's not. He might be able to make that team look a lot better than what they normally would look like. But if you're talking about getting that team into dominance and dominating the NBA and dominating the Bulls, probably not. It just depends on how good the team around him is. He would in any era dominate individually statistically, but if you're asking me as far as winning is concerned, it depends on what team he's on for me.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
what team would you put him on? Like if you give us that, I think we could give you a clear cut answer. Would you
okay.
give us
Well,
the
see,
team?
that was going to be my next part of this. But say his career has this, he plays with the same exact teams he played for throughout his career now. So he starts with the Cavs, he moved to the Miami Heat, and he ends with the Lakers, which is where he'll
When
probably
does
end
his
his career.
career when does his career start? In the
So
in
we'll say
89 90 season?
1991 when the Bulls won their first one, and then it'll end in 99. Or that'll be the span we're looking at. So he starts with the
Hmm.
Cleveland Cavs. Some notable players for that team was Mark Price, Brad Daugherty. Then he goes to Miami, where I believe he'd be playing with Ronnie Cycli, Glenn Rice, a young Steve Smith. And then, of course, he goes to the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, he'll pair up with or team up with Shaq and Kobe, a very
Oh
young
yeah,
Kobe.
okay. So if you give him that team, I think he probably gonna get a chip. I'm gonna
And
be good with
mind you,
that.
this is by the
So
time he would get to the Lakers, it would be what, it would be
about
the
90,
98 99 season?
let's say
Or 97
97. So
98.
let's say he spends three
Okay.
years with each team, so that covers all the years. So he's
I
three
like
years
that.
with
Okay, okay.
Cleveland, 3 years with Miami, and then 3 years with the Lakers.
96 97 season. I think that would be 2012 version of LeBron, right? 2011?
Yeah, he's getting that chip.
Something around there, yeah.
Yeah, I think no. Actually, no, that's '09 LeBron. Yeah, that's '09 LeBron. Because through
Mm.
2003 4 season to 2005, 2006, that would be 3 years. So then 2006, 7 season, all the way to 2007, 2008 season, that's no, 2008, 2009, that would be him in Miami. And then the Lakers would be
Okay.
2009, 10,
Yeah, that's a question for you guys.
2011, 12. So 2009, 10 to 2011, 12. How many championships you got him winning with the Lakers? With Shaq and baby Kobe.
I'll give him two.
So you don't think he'd win any championships with those Cleveland teams or those Miami teams in the East?
Not
No,
the Heat.
because 2002, 2003 LeBron to 2005, 2006. I think, especially him being in the Eastern Conference, I don't think he's equipped as a scorer. Because we got to also remember, like the legal defenses benefit a player of LeBron, of Kobe's, I mean, of Jordan, of Kobe's archetype. It doesn't necessarily benefit him, especially when you get into postseasons, because he has to rely on his other teammates to shot create. And the Cleveland Cavaliers offenses Well, is Mark Price there? If Mark
Yeah,
Price is
it's
there,
Mark Price, Brad
ooh,
Daugherty.
okay, this gets interesting.
Is what's his name?
This gets interesting.
Ron Harper. Is he on there?
Is
Is on that team?
this is Ron Harper still there.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
I'll give you this. They'd be in the conference finals versus the Bulls.
They're good. They're facing the Bulls for a fact. If LeBron is on that team and everybody stays the same, they're facing the Bulls for sure in 93, 92, 93.
Okay. So no hope for those Miami teams with
Nah.
the third,
Them teams are good. Them
the
Nah.
third
teams
year
are
in
good.
Miami, he would have Tim Hardaway and Alonzo. That was their first years there. So he
I like he could like take them in the play, but getting a championship, nah, I'm not giving him that. But on the Lakers, yeah, I think that's 2 chips.
So you think that's 2 chips? So what years?
Yeah.
You think 98, 99?
Yeah.
Okay.
The last 2 years, I think that's 2 chips. And then I'll give them I don't know. It's a lot of hypotheticals, but just going with the Cavs, how the Cavs look, I'm gonna give them a matchup with the Bulls, multiple matchups with the Bulls. If we just going off how the team look.
I'd say 92 Mark Price. He was nice. He was cold.
Yeah.
And then you got Craig Elo. I'd say 92 would be the best bet of beating Jordan. 93, I just don't think. Like even if that's 2005, 2006 LeBron, and even with them having like I think at that time they were like a top 3 offense. I think they were top 3 offense. I could be wrong.
Cleveland?
Yeah, Cleveland at that time, even with them being a top 3 offense, I don't think he's the defender that they needed.
You talking about LeBron?
Yeah, I don't think LeBron and 0506 version of LeBron is the defender that they would need to get past the Bulls. It's primarily the reason why they got cooked by the Bulls that series is because they had nobody that could be able to stop Jordan's penetration.
Okay. BigNige, what you think? How many? Okay, so y'all kind of agree that those last years with the Lakers, he'd get at least 2, maybe. I think he definitely win in 99. That they definitely win that 99.
98, I think they also win as well.
Yeah. I think they actually rather win that
because we got to also
ease.
remember that's bad back Scotty.
Yeah, I mean Scotty wasn't quite the same Scotty. Yeah, I mean I don't know because Shaq had trouble with Rodman a lot of times, and Jordan was still Jordan.
Yeah, but 98 version of Dennis Rodman, 98 version of Dennis Rodman is like, come on now.
We talking about throwing LeBron in that mix though.
Yeah,
that's a lot of
young Kobe. You got a young Kobe.
Yeah, that's a lot to deal with. Bron, Kobe, and Shaq. That's a lot to deal with.
I mean, Kobe. That's young Kobe. I mean, he's still all-star level. But
even if he's young, that's a lot to deal with for anybody. They getting up the West for sure, easy.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'd get out the West for sure.
And I think they beat the Bulls. I ain't gonna say easy, but I take them in 6.
Okay.
Yeah, I take the Lakers are for sure getting out of the West against Utah for a fact. Against the Bulls, it might be a little bit of a test in 98, but I because I still got him in 98. But 99 for sure they got it. So I'd say, he got 2 championships coming out in the 90s for a fact. Maybe 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe 3.
Maybe 3 depending on how.
What do you think? 97, 98, and 99? They 3?
No.
With the Cavs.
I think one with the Cavs. And if they beat them in 92, I think 92 is the only season that I can give them because 93 is peak Jordan to me.
And I like I like the prime or Ron Harper before the injuries.
Yeah.
And then you put Bron on that team. I'm just thinking about the construction of that team. They might I think they might beat the Bulls in a matchup like that.
Did Ron Harper? I think you're thinking of 90. You're thinking of 93 because I don't think Ron Harper played in 92.
Okay. Yeah, I know he played a couple of those years with. Yeah, it might have been. I think 93 is definitely on there. Let's say
93,
LeBron
94
replaces Ron Harper.
Season,
yeah.
On there. No, he wasn't on there.
Okay. So Political Rex brings up a good comment. If LeBron was on the Lakers with the young Kobe, then Kobe couldn't mature into Black Mamba Kobe. Do you think he would stunt Kobe's growth if
1000%.
I don't think so.
1000%.
I don't think he
Kobe on like
would.
a two-year stall.
so?
I think the way that Kobe is, what his makeup is as a person before the basketball player as a person, nah, he ain't going. Like, and because LeBron is a pass first guy, he would defer. Like, if Kobe had such a dominating personality, I think he would defer to someone like Kobe. Like, obviously, if this is like, we're not talking about peak Black Mamba Kobe, but like LeBron would defer if it meant that much to Kobe to be number one, number two, whatever. He would take a step back in terms of his production to allow Kobe to go and be Kobe if it meant that they could win a championship.
I think in a sense I agree. In a sense I agree, but so the problem is I don't think LeBron even during the stretch, because mind you, this is 2008, 2009 LeBron to 2011 to 2011, 2012 LeBron. It's not until like that last year of where he's the floor spacer that you need him to be, because like they were even in 2009, 2010, like he wasn't knocking down um shots at range at a comfortable enough efficiency to garner him being playing more of an off-ball role. And part of what made Kobe develop properly was the fact that every year the guards that were ahead of him got older or they got out the way, and so he got more volume, more usage. He was able to like have the ball in his hands more. If LeBron's there and
He's not getting
he's
the ball.
developing, yeah, he's not getting the ball as much either. You know what I'm saying? Because this Shaq, like this Shaq we talking about. So it's a pecking order, and so
Yeah.
if it's LeBron coming down the court looking for Shaq primarily, and then he also has to get his touches as well, because by the time we get to 2000, by the time we get to 99, this is 2009 2010 LeBron. Like you know what I'm saying? Like this he's that
Yeah.
dude. Like he why wouldn't you allow him to put rim pressure on the rim? And so then it's like Kobe is going to be regarded more of that floor spacing guard that gives you intensity on the defensive end, which he did as well. So on the defensive end, Kobe is who was in real time. But as a shot creator, he doesn't have the volume, in my opinion, because LeBron's there and he got to get his volume too.
Yeah.
I just don't see. Because LeBron's so unselfish. I just don't see it being an issue because he'll give Kobe as many shots as he wants. Now, obviously, if Kobe is, if he's off, then he'll just go into attack mode like he normally does with any other teammate, and just get his shots then. Like, just because of how pass first he is, I just don't see it being an issue, even with Kobe Bryant being his teammate. Personally.
I mean, my thing is LeBron is unselfish within reason, right?
Yeah.
And
I
so
agree.
so I think if he's unselfish, if it makes sense for him to pass up the ball, like he's going to make the right play. But if the right play at that time is getting the ball to Shaq getting his touches, get the ball to Glenn Rice getting his touches, because at that time he's shooting like 39% from three. Eddie
Right.
Jones getting his touches.
Yeah.
And then Kobe getting his touches. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Like it's a pecking order, and especially with the team that's designed. Like, we got to remember, like LeBron can only space the floor so much. Like Shaq is not that much of a floor space. He's not a floor spacer at all. So like we need floor spacers. If Kobe's gonna get on the floor on the offensive end, he got to be that floor spacer as well, on top of what Glenn Rice gives you, on top of what Derek Fisher is getting you, on top of what Rick Fox is giving you. You know what I'm saying? Robert Orr is giving you.
And that version of Kobe wasn't the greatest.
He
wasn't
wasn't the
going to hit
greatest
a
floor
lot of
spacer
three.
either.
Yeah, he wasn't going to shoot. He could shoot you out of the game very easily.
So yeah.
Okay. Well, if y'all don't mind, I was going to see if anybody wanted to hop on.
I want some of these
I'm
dudes
here.
in the comments to hop on because
I'm
they
here.
talking crazy.
I'm here. Nah, for real.
I've been
I'm here
trying
as
to
long as
ignore
y'all
it.
need me, man.
Yeah, we're gonna put the link in, and you guys just make sure you're in a place where it's not too much noise in the background, so we can hear you clearly, and just be mindful. Let everybody get their comments in as well. So we're gonna open up for anybody that wants to hop in. You can give us your thoughts on LeBron playing in the '90s and if he would dominate, or
Now,
whatever,
mind
or anything else.
now, mind you, we said he might get 2 championships in the '90s, and that okay. If he came in '91 all the way to '99, that's like 8 years of his career. Now, mind you, his career spanned 20 years, 21 years.
Mhm.
So how many? Okay, now then he would be on the Lakers with prime Shaq.
It's peak Shaq.
How many? Yeah. How many chips do you think he would have at that point? And then he would still be after Shaq left his peak. He would still be able to play at a high level.
Oh my God! In
Yeah, that.
2002, it'll be peak Shaq and peak LeBron because this 2012, 2013,
Oh
bro. Oh
man,
my
That ain't
God,
That's
that
over.
that ain't fair.
they're cheating.
Okay, we're gonna let
Oh
Brian
man,
in. What's up, Brian?
Hey, how are you doing, guys? Can you hear
how you
me?
doing, man?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. I have a quick question for you guys. What would I need to do to be a regular on this channel or member?
Uh, I'll get with you afterwards, and we can talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
Yeah, I'll
that's
message
good.
you. Yeah.
So anyway, where we at the topic?
just will LeBron dominate the '90s,
Yeah.
or could he dominate the
Mm.
'90s?
Yeah. So are we assuming he's playing with the Bulls or any other team?
The way we framed it was he would play with the teams he's played for throughout his career. So the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Miami Heat, and he would
Mm.
end it with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay, so we haven't. I mean, you guys haven't spoken if he will win a championship of those teams, right? Just dominate, like based on numbers,
Uh,
playoff
yeah, they said they
performances.
thought he would
Yeah.
win 2 championships. Well, at minimum, 2 championships with the Lakers, 98, 99, and possibly 92.
98, 99. At that age? I mean, at this age?
Um, it would kind of match his progression through the NBA. So, yeah, I
Mhm.
guess not technically Lakers LeBron, but spanning 9 years of his career. So his first 9 years.
Oh, okay. First 9 years of his career would be with the Lakers.
No, it would be split between those 3 teams throughout the '90s.
Okay. Okay, so my point on that is absolutely he will dominate the 90s. With the type of defense that they are playing in the 90s, which includes the illegal defense. But I'm not saying it's being used every play, but that would be a big advantage for him. And the way the position is being played in the 90s. So if he plays small forward, in his younger days, he was very effective. So probably even Scottie Pippen would have a very hard time guarding him. Grant Hill cannot guard him. The other small forwards will not be able to keep up with him also. Uh, I'll just give you the numbers. He'll probably average on a of course in a losing team he will average more. But let's say winning would be the priority. Maybe a playoff team, top four in the Eastern Conference or Western Conference. He'll probably average around 28 to 29 points still, but a very high efficiency, around maybe 55%. And for the small forward, and then if they decide or if he decides to play power forward, it would be even worse. I mean, worse for the defender because nobody could match him with his speed, his skill set, his shooting ability at the 4. So at the same time, he can guard also those guys, the Malones, Barclays, the Oakleys, the All Stars or role players. You could absolutely do that.
Mm,
So that's my take of him playing in the 90s.
I don't know if he's guarding those guys.
Mhm.
Locked down, guarding them.
No. What I'm saying is he can not locking them down. He can outplay them for most of the time. So let's say he's playing against Malone. Malone will probably score 25 on him, but LeBron will have, the usual 29 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists, and have more impact or more imprint in the game.
Why would LeBron guard? Are you saying LeBron's guarding Malone or Malone's
Mhm.
just like
Yeah, that's what I was
why is he
wondering.
Yeah.
why is he
If
guarding
if
Malone?
if the the situation asked for it, or if the coaches wanted it, or if LeBron wanted to play the 4. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming he'll probably
What
play
year?
the
What year are
4.
we talking about?
Mm, in his
You got
prime,
you.
maybe around 20, 29 years old.
20,
Yeah, you had to
29.
put Miami run on
Yeah.
him.
No,
Yeah.
but nah, for real. You gotta put 22 or
Yeah.
2013 Bron to be specific. Um,
Mhm.
nah, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't really see much of a reason why he would guard him when you could just have him roam off and just guard a player like Steven Howard or something. Yeah, we talking about
Mhm. Yeah.
97. Are we talking about 97 when he playing for the Lakers, or we talking about when he playing for the Heat or something?
Miami Heat, LeBron, 29 years old, 28.
No. I'm saying what year and then oh God. He's 29. That's 10 years. Wait, 29-year-old LeBron isn't that like that not even in this hypothetical at this point. Because it's only like we're really only giving him like 8 years. Because we started him in
8
90
years.
91.
Was he with the Heat already? Year 8 or still with it?
Year 8, he's with the Lakers.
Year 8 with the Lakers. Yeah, so I have mentioned also he'll play small forward, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I would assume they'd have
6,
him
7,
playing small
8. Yeah,
forward.
he playing for the
Mhm.
Lakers, and that would be 99 season that we're referring to.
Mm.
Okay.
And in 99 season, it like Karl Malone. Well, bro, I don't even know why we doing this. It ain't even Utah that they worried about at that point.
No.
It ain't even Utah they worried
Yeah,
about
Nah.
at that point. I don't
but
even know why
but
I'm doing
Malone
this.
won MVP in 99, right? 99,
Um,
if I remember.
his eighth season, I think he is 27 or 28.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let's see.
I don't know
One,
why
two,
truthful.
three, four, five,
Yeah, truthful.
six,
For some
seven,
reason, it
eight.
showed you
He's
coming in and
26.
then disconnected.
He's 26. That was
Yeah,
the
I
2011
would
season.
really like to hear what he got to say.
Yeah, he's trying to get
I
in,
do
but
apologize guys, because I'm on my phone and I can't search for the numbers or the years or.
Don't get me wrong. I do think if we're doing this based off of like the 3 year increments, I do think by the time he gets to the Lakers, I think it's more reasonable for him to be a power forward because that actually was the one questionable spot that they did have on the roster, and I think he does fit the build. By the time we get to, because this is 08, 09
yeah, that's
LeBron, and he
yeah.
has Shaq as his
Mhm.
back line, so it makes sense. But
Yeah, because that
like
Man, they
Lakers.
will run the damn NBA. That ain't
even
even.
the starting lineup in my head, off the top of my head, you
Well,
tell me if
say
I'm wrong,
well. Let's
CPU. It would probably be
just
like
to be fair. Let's say they don't have Eddie Jones. LeBron replaces Eddie Jones.
even still, because even then, like you still have like even still, you still run them at power forward because I think the
Yeah, I mean,
starting lineup
I'm yeah, that's
the
what I'm
starting
saying.
lineup
I'm
would probably
just
be the starting lineup would probably be like Derek Fisher or Ron Harper, Derek Fisher or Ron Harper. Oh no, they didn't give Ron Harper then, did they?
nah.
They
What
had
year are you
Derek
talking about?
Harper, the
Which year?
99, 98, 99 season.
98, 99. No, I don't think they have
I think they
Harper.
had Derek Harper.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up.
Oh, so,
But
so Kobe is still in
Yeah,
the
they had
team, right?
Derek
Is
Harper.
in the team.
yeah, it would probably be
You're not taking
probably be
out
like
Kobe.
Derek Fisher, or Derek Harper at the point, Kobe at the 2, Glenn Rice at the 3, LeBron at the 4, and then Shaq at the 5. They probably Derek Fisher will for sure be the starting point guard, and I think that's rookie Derek Fisher.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like that, I mean, I get what you put on the floor.
That's second year.
Second year, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Mhm.
think that's probably the lineup because it maximizes the floor spacing because you got your front line is essentially getting the bulk of the rim pressure.
So they get by those
But
twin
you know,
towers.
guys, I think.
Twin,
But
nah,
you
I
know, I
don't know about
think.
Twin Towers.
They get past Duncan and Robinson.
Mm, I definitely think so because their offense is definitely more
Ooh.
conducive to translating the postseason if LeBron's there.
But you know what I think? He will take over the ball handling responsibilities with
I
Shaq
mean,
and
yeah, I can see
Kobe.
him doing that. Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Mhm.
He was saying
He'll
LeBron.
probably play
Yeah.
more of a point guard on a power forward position on defense.
Mm, so then who guards Tim Duncan at that point? You got to pick your poison when it
Well,
comes. If LeBron is in this scenario, you sort of got to pick your
mhm,
poison. Because
mhm.
it's not like we can't play GM and then plug in a power forward and now LeBron gets to play point guard. Like 9 out of 10, if team is currently constructed and LeBron is just plastered on that team, yeah, he's probably playing power forward at that stage. At that stage of his
Mhm.
career, he was big enough to where he could pass as a power forward. And it's not like on the offensive end he wouldn't have like significant advantages. It's just on the defensive end against Tim Duncan. Like this is Tim Duncan we're
Yeah.
Mhm.
talking about.
This is
He's like he's
early
getting
young Tim Duncan.
yeah,
Young
like
Tim.
it ain't it's not that big of a deal, but no, he is getting cooked by Tim Duncan. I just want to make that clear. He's getting cooked by
Yeah.
Tim Duncan.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Duncan will gonna get his, but he's gonna get a harder time also matching up against LeBron.
Mm.
That's young mobile Tim Duncan though.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know. People sort of sleep on when it comes to
Yeah.
Tim Duncan's impact when he like
Yeah.
mobile
When he
Tim
was.
Duncan when he first
Yeah.
came in. You want to talk about a unicorn?
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. Thank you. People kind of sleep on him, but nah,
I
younger
mean,
Tim
guys,
Duncan was mobile. He wasn't like a center like he
Yeah.
kind of played towards the end of his career.
I mean, during those times with the Lakers, it was Samaki Walker guarding Duncan, right? Or Robert Horry, if I'm not mistaken.
Wait, say it again.
During when?
During those time, it was Samaki Walker or Robert Horry guarding Duncan in those matchups with the Lakers.
You talking
99?
about 99?
Yeah, Samaki
Uh
Walker
huh.
wasn't there yet.
The Maki wasn't
Yep.
there yet.
Uh, who was guarding? Was it Grant? Horace Grant or?
Horace Grant wasn't
Um,
there either.
Let me
It would
check.
probably be
The power
Robert
forward.
Horry.
Robert Horry was there in 98, 99,
Yeah.
if that's the season you're referring to.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think
it was
he's talking
Robert
about
Horry
98,
guarding him,
99.
right?
Yes.
Actually, and this is gonna throw you for a loop. J.R. Reed was the one guarding him
From the
in
Lakers?
90 in
J.R. Reid.
99. J.R. Reed and Robert Horry was the one primarily getting because
Uh-huh.
Robert Horry was coming off the bench at that time. Remember,
Oh, that's
J.R. Reed was starting.
Mhm.
He's
barbecue
similar.
So
chicken.
He's
Yeah,
similar to LeBron's stature, like 6'9", almost 250. That's who was guarding him. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah, but
so
that's what I'm
imagine
saying. Being
Duncan.
6'9", and being six nine,
What's going
and
on, Michael Jordan fans?
fighting.
Or what's going on, Dart? I won't call you by
Oh
your
man,
handle.
oh man, Dart, man, what's going on, OG? Nah, J.R. Reed at 6'9", that's sort of like my point. You being 6'9" and 247 compared to I think Tim Duncan was like damn near 7 foot 270. I know he was 270 and mobile
Mhm.
Oh,
as
he weighed
Yep.
that much.
as Kate. Yeah.
he was.
Tim
I didn't
Duncan
know he
was
was that
big.
big.
Tim
I thought
Duncan
he
was a
was like.
big ass dude, bro.
I did not know he
Yeah.
was that big. Dang.
Yeah, that's what Kenny Martin said.
What
He
I'm
could
saying
move
is
him
He
down.
started
LeBron
he
will
started
have a
shedding pounds
better
later on.
time guarding him than J.R. Reed or Horry. That's what I'm saying. He's not shutting down Duncan, but he will do a better job compared to those two.
How so though?
Yeah, what do you mean by better
I
job?
mean,
Will he
Like, how does he do a better
slow Duncan
job?
down?
defending Duncan.
No, but I'm saying how is he going to defend him? Let's start there. How is he defending Tim
Yeah.
Duncan?
Defend. What do you mean? How is he defending? He's gonna
How is he
defend him.
defending?
Using his quickness, his IQ in defense, and his quick hands
No,
slapping the
no,
ball.
I understand. I understand his attributes, what he brings to the table.
Hmm.
But how
Mhm.
does he use that? How does he implement those skill sets to do a better job on Tim Duncan than J.R. Reed or Robert Ory was able to do on Tim
Yeah.
Duncan? Because we got to also remember Tim Duncan. This isn't a player that's starting at the top of the key or starting in
Hmm.
the high post.
He's on the
There's a player
post.
that he's already setting his foundation early in the shot
Hmm.
clock, so in the post, so when he gets the ball he's already like in position. So
Hmm.
how is LeBron doing a better job than those players in stopping that?
He's not.
He can't push it. He won't be able to
I
push
mean,
Tim Duncan out the way.
hey guys, I didn't say he will shut down Duncan. Am I making it
No, but I'm
myself
asking you,
clear?
how is he doing? I'm
Uh-huh.
asking you, brother, how is he doing a better job than what the other people did? Because the other people were more qualified than even LeBron in guarding the post at that
Hmm.
stage of his career, and they couldn't stop him. So how is LeBron going to do a better job?
He's not.
No, LeBron is a better post defender than Horry. Is
Oh
he
no,
not?
we're just at that stage of his career.
No,
No, at that stage of his
no.
career,
Even
no.
old Duncan was able to score on LeBron. So yeah,
Yeah,
but
And
we
he's
that's
got
what
gonna
he
another
is.
score in
player
But
that
Horry
want.
LeBron
also.
isn't the
Or
post
Duncan.
defender.
So real quick, we're gonna let Truthful troll. What's going on?
What's happening? Is that me with
Yeah,
the
let the
echo?
guy go.
Yeah. So
Is
you got
it?
any comments, questions? What you got?
I'm about to leave out and come back in because there's echo. But LeBron didn't dominate his own ever. When we say, but this is something that y'all said, and I want y'all to address this. This is off topic, but when y'all put him on that Lakers team, who would be first option, LeBron or Shaq? Would that work?
Shaq?
Let's
Is
say
Shaq?
Shaq.
Why
Shaq?
wouldn't it be
LeBron ain't going for that.
Shaq? Well, why?
LeBron ain't going for that.
Why not?
LeBron ain't about
Why
to
would
play
he go?
second option.
Why not?
Why
AD
He
would he
is
never
the
go?
has.
first option now.
He's not the first option now. He's never
Agreed.
been the first
AD
option his
is.
whole
Let
career.
him get his take off real quick. I just want to hear what he got to say.
Okay. I got you.
LeBron has been a role player his whole career. Y'all remember the interview when Scottie Pippen first spoke on LeBron, and Scottie said LeBron James is him in this era. And I've been saying that for the longest. When you look at LeBron James, LeBron always need a closer. Dwayne Wade was a closer, a proven Finals MVP.
Yeah.
Kyrie Irving is a closer. Kyrie should have been Finals MVP because he outplayed himself. And if LeBron would have outplayed KD, they win. You
Yeah.
got three franchise players. Kevin Love, who was he was a top MVP voting. Uh, he was number 3 in PER, right behind LeBron James and KD. Before joining LeBron and Kyrie Irving, when he had a Scottie Pippen, he could have took Andrew Wiggins, train a young man up. But you know LeBron don't make nobody better. He get rid of young players for ready now vets. You put him on that Lakers team. All right, we in 9-1. You put him. I'm gonna go win everybody in their best because in the 90s he ain't team hopping. He got to play with what he got. That's how we determine greatness. Am I lying? But also, y'all forgot Nick Van Exel will also be on that team. Will LeBron, Shaq, young Kobe, Nick Van Exel will be there too. That team will be stacked. That's why I was in the comments
They
like,
only
hold
one
up, so
ball.
y'all gonna put this man on a super team? You guys should kill O'Neal, young Kobe, Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, LeBron James. I mean, damn. What else y'all gonna give him in the 90s? Really think about
They're
that,
already
Rock.
taking out Eddie Jones.
Nobody
They
think
already
about Eddie
said they
Jones.
taking out Eddie Jones.
Hold up. I'm gonna shut up and let these brothers school you on Eddie Jones. Eddie was nice, and I was telling my little brother, Paul George not gonna be remembered if you don't get a ring. It's a lot of dudes who used to ball that people don't even talk about, and we know they was Stephon Marbury, Baron Davis. I'm not naming no top dudes, but I'm naming dudes who we knew was ballers. It's a lot of dudes who could ball, but they're not gonna be on the TV all day. They ain't getting talked about. We come from an era. Well, we in the era right now where the Finals MVP wasn't even selected on the Olympic team. LeBron James was he was a third string All-Star this year, and a first string is sitting on a bench from Boston. Jason Tatum is sitting on a bench, a champion,
because he's not better than LeBron.
And LeBron James, and everybody saying, well, Steve Kerr can't coach. Well, what he gonna do? LeBron want his playing time. He won't get his shine on. What Steve Kerr gonna do, bro? So what he gonna tell LeBron? No, bro. Steph gonna want his time. KD want his time. What Kerr gonna do, man? Yeah, Jason, bro. We gotta work something out. You just ain't got as much pull as these dudes, man. And if Jason Tatum had played, they would have been shitting on Steve Kerr all over the news. If LeBron has to get more involved. I don't think that Steve Kerr knows how to get. LeBron was running point and didn't even know how to get Steph Curry the ball the first couple games. That's why Steph was looking so trash. You got to all right. So let's put him in the nines. You clog the lane. What are you gonna do? All his final losses, you done seen it 6 times. Just clog the lane. He can't do nothing. 2011, 2007.
That is true.
2016.
That's false.
And Andrew Bogut. LeBron wasn't dropping no 28 and 26 until Bogut got hurt.
Bro, he had 29 on Bogut before he went out.
No, listen.
You do know that, right?
Listen.
He had more than half of his 41 points before
that wasn't
Bogut
on
went out.
Bogut, bro. He wasn't getting that from the rim.
Okay, Bogut was there.
Go look at the
before
free throw
he went out.
differential.
He had 29 points.
Go look at the free throw differential. But when it mattered, was LeBron getting to the paint? No, he didn't want no smoke with Sean Marion. Sean Marion proved he was last in the night.
You're jumping all over the place, man.
No, I'm naming the same situation in several different final cities. All his losses went the same. He couldn't get in the paint how he wanted. You clog the lane, he ain't no good. That's why they changed the rules for him.
They changed. What rules did they change for LeBron?
They stopped it. You can't be in the paint like that no more. They took all the defense out the game. So when you hit size, you could just barrel through. I mean, look at any LeBron James game. He do the same thing every time. You give him the ball, he gonna charge up, and if he can't see that he got a clear lane to run, he gonna back up about 3 steps, and then he gonna pick up speed. He gonna always back up until he can pick up speed. He gonna come through, lower his shoulder, push his forearm in the defender chest, and head straight. And if he can't get it, he gonna dish out. And your ass better make that wide open shot, or his fans gonna chew your ass out in the media the next morning. Tell me that's not a question
for you.
Sports Talk. Quick, I got a question for you, real quick. Just a quick question. What game did Andrew Bogut get hurt?
Game 5, third quarter.
Thank you. I'll be right back.
Okay, sir, I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said they can't clog the paint. What are you basing that off of? What are you basing that off of? The defensive 3-second rule?
No, I'm basing that off of 6 finals losses and the fact that
no. I'm asking you a question. See, you're not even listening to the question. I asked you. You said they cannot clog the paint today, or they clog the paint today, or something like that.
No, I'm saying listen.
Back then they would have clogged the paint.
Listen, I didn't say they can't. I said whenever you clog the paint.
Okay.
He can't do nothing. 6 final losses.
Do you know you could not clog the paint back then?
They damn sure did.
That's crazy.
You had to guard your man.
Yes, they did, bro. What you think Michael Jordan was doing all that acrobatic stuff in the air for? Because the paint was clogged. He was trying to avoid everything. He wasn't trying to look special, but he figured out how to not get hit. Man, you got 3 big bodies down there. You call yourself
they were legally tied to their assignments.
That's factually incorrect.
I mean, you had illegal defense.
Factually incorrect.
That's factually incorrect.
So you're telling me it's not more bodies in the paint in the 90s and in the 80s and the early 2010s than it is today?
No,
Yeah,
it's
I
factually
am.
incorrect that Jordan found a different way of not getting hit.
I see what
No,
you're saying. I could agree with that.
the defenses that got implemented in the 90s assisted in him not having to worry about getting hit as egregiously as he did in the 87, 88, 89 season.
Yeah, I
And
was
even
about to say
still,
that was
yeah, he
done for
still,
everybody.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was a whole league
You could
wide.
camp out in the paint today more than you could in the 90s.
Who in the paint today?
I said you
Name me
can.
what?
A
No,
defender can
let me
camp
ask
out
you
in
something.
the paint today more than the 90s because zone defense was illegal in the 90s.
We live in an era
Yep.
where Rudy Gobert got 4 defensive player of the year, man. Rudy Gobert, bro. That man not seeing a DPOY in the 90s. He not.
I'm not sure what that has to do with anything I just said.
I'm telling you, it got everything that we talking about the paint.
I said you could camp out in the paint more now than you could in the 90s because now with the defensive 3-second rule, you could step in and out of the paint. All they have to do
and
is step out every
listen,
2.9
this is what I'm
seconds.
trying to get you to understand. You ain't got to worry about nobody camping. That paint not going to be open in the 90s. You ain't just coming through there.
Based on what?
It was open.
What? Oh,
Based on what?
Based on the band-aids that you seen on people's faces in the playoffs in the 90s. Y'all remember that?
Man,
And
it was
also to be
UFC out
clear,
there. I already know, man.
Rudy
No,
Gobert
bro.
is Dikembe Mutombo in the 90s, who was also a defensive player of the year.
Mutombo blocking everything, though.
Mm-hmm.
Mutombo blocking everything.
Sir,
You're
I
not
don't
just
think
going.
you're paying
Listen,
attention to what I'm
you're not
saying.
just going in there.
Gobert and Mutombo.
So what I'm trying to say is, all right. So LeBron needs Shaq to win in the 90s.
We
Oh
did
my
not say that.
God,
That's
bro.
another part of your thing
No,
that I
no, no,
wanted
no,
to
no. I'm
correct you.
asking because
No,
that's who y'all put him with.
Well, no, I was just
No, we just
saying
put him
if
on
it's
the 3 teams he
and
played. That's
that's what
it.
I'm
yeah.
trying to that's what I'm trying to correct you on.
Oh, okay.
We didn't say no, none of us said that he should go play for the Lakers. We asked him to create the scenario so that we could give him a legit answer on whether he would win a championship or not. And he gave us the 3 teams that he played for in his career. We just put them in 3-year increments in the 90s. That's all that
Yeah.
happened.
Okay. Well, I'm still gonna tell you, he wins no ring. Kobe not gonna grow if he on the Lakers. You got the
I agree. I
Miami
agree with
Heat,
that.
which
I
I think they was
agree.
an expansion team, but they was nice though. Even
Miami
there,
wasn't bad.
you're not
I don't
coming
think
out the
anybody
East.
agree. Nobody disagrees with you. However, do you remember those teams that was in 97, 98, and 99? You remember those Lakers
97,
teams?
98, 99.
The
Yeah.
Lakers, yeah.
The
Do
Lake,
you
yeah, I
remember
just
those?
told you. You had Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, Shaquille O'Neal. I want to say, damn man, who's powerful?
The starting power forward for them was, let me check to be sure.
What year?
I think he's talking about
90.
96,
I'm going
97
97.
likelihood. Yeah,
I'm going
96, 97
97.
season. The
Was Robert
starting
Ory on that team?
power forward was Eldon Campbell, Corey Blount, or Larry Chris Kowiak. Chris Kowiak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
I remember.
And they also played Jerome Kersey sometimes at power forward as well. So there's that. But mainly it was Eldon Campbell.
Yeah.
We already conceded, by the way, that 96, 97 they're not winning. 97,
Well,
98, 97, 98, I think I think 97, 98, because of Scottie Pippen primarily not being himself by the time you get to the postseason, and likelihood is these teams will meet in the Western Conference Finals. So that means you're catching Scottie Pippen after a deep postseason run
that's only
with a
one.
bad back.
That's only
So
one problem with what you just said.
okay.
That's only one problem with that. There's a man named Michael Jordan,
Oh
and Michael
Lord.
Oh
Jordan don't
my
lose no
God.
finals.
Okay, well, what
Michael
about
Jordan
Michael
don't lose no
Jordan
finals.
versus the
I'm gonna say,
Celtics
listen.
in
I'm gonna say this
'86?
one more time.
Wasn't he still Michael Jordan?
Michael Jordan. Listen to
I
what I'm
wasn't
just
trying
saying.
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan don't lose no finals. Jordan
No,
don't lose no finals.
man, you can't say he don't lose no finals.
Yes, I can
Does he
say that.
lose?
We seen it. Jordan
He
don't
didn't
lose no
lose
finals.
those finals, but you can't say, oh, just
Jordan don't lose no
so when
finals.
he gets to the finals, he just automatically win. It don't matter who he play, no matter when, right? That's what you're saying.
Let me tell you why Michael Jordan is the greatest to me. Championships aside, by Jordan was drafted 84. He came in top 5 in MVP voting, rookie of the year, and led the league in scoring. I'm gonna say that again. He came in top 5 in MVP voting, rookie of the year, led the league in scoring, and was still a decent defensive player. Mike still had a lot to learn on the defensive end, but he was nice, but he was decent. He wasn't Michael Jordan just yet. But the next season he go out with a foot injury, come back, play 18 games, and still do enough to make let his team get in the playoffs. Again, he's never missed the playoffs. He played 11 full seasons in Chicago and won 6 chips. Jordan did this shit in 11 years, man. In 11.
You mean
They say
15,
he played for the Bulls 13 years, but he didn't.
Yeah,
they counting the 18 games off his second year with the foot injury, and they counting the 17 games he played when he came back from baseball.
That still counts though. So
it counts.
Just say that don't count?
It counts. But 17 and 18 games, I'll give you that. In each full season, I'm gonna say it again. He played 11 years in Chicago, 11 full seasons. That man got 6 rings. Besides the ring, in the regular season, for his career. Not just no one-off thing, for his entire career. In the regular season, all his stats go up when he make the playoffs. And when he finally made the finals, all his stats went up even higher. He plays better as the lights get brighter on every side of the ball. You can't say that about LeBron James or no other player in NBA history, but you can say it about Michael Jordan. That's why he's the best.
The problem I'm having is you're holding this is the situation that we're in.
Yeah.
It's irrelevant about LeBron individually as far as the way he performs in this sense, because he's playing with Shaquille O'Neal, brother. So the fact that he's playing with Shaquille O'Neal, the fact that he has Glenn Rice especially on that roster, the fact that he has Rick Fox on that roster, the fact that even with Kobe Bryant not necessarily being the player that we ultimately know him to be, and even fair enough, I'm the one that made the case that you're making right now for Kobe being stagnant. So even with him being stagnant, he still is the perimeter defender that they need, and the off-ball player, slasher specifically, that can be able to give them that boost.
You talking about Kobe?
Yes. Yo, I just thought, look.
And
not to cut you off, I just thought about something.
The floor spacing that LeBron James would be exposed to, along with Shaquille O'Neal having somebody that's competent and being able to drive and drop the ball off in the lane. I think that helps Shaq be able to be even more potent, because it's the part of the reason why they lost to Utah in 98 was because Shaq wasn't equipped to be able to Shaq wasn't on the offensive end. Shaq was not equipped to be able to have to get that many post touches and the offense run totally through him. Like he did not have that many options that could be able to create shots for themselves on the perimeter. Now with LeBron being there, that's somebody, and this is LeBron in, like, what did I say? This is LeBron in 2009, 2010. I think it's 2009, 2010 LeBron. James can't do anything else. He can be able to find the right pass to the right person in the specific corner or on the wing to be able to knock down those shots. And they have requisite amount of shooting with Nick Van Exel, who you bigged up, Rick Fox, who's on that roster, Robert Horry, Eddie Jones, who you bigged up, and they can be able to knock down those shots that's created for them. So yes, in 97, 98, they probably have more trouble with Utah than they do with the Bulls, because the Bulls would have to deal with that diversity. It's not that Jordan couldn't be able to do this. He couldn't be able to have the scoring numbers that he had, because trust me when I say I know all too well about Jordan's playoff translation. It's not that he wouldn't be able to do Jordan. It's the fact that doing Jordan wouldn't be enough in this sense, because you have not one but two ultimate dynamic scores on the offensive end that you have to attend to that Jordan can't possibly focus on right now.
He did it when he went up against that Utah team you're talking about.
Who did he focus
and Karl Malone. John Stockton actually being a great assist player, unlike a pass first player, because LeBron is not pass first. Let's get that out there. But I was laughing because
he's not.
No, 27.
Hey, just let him have that. I want to hear what else.
Not pass first.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, go ahead.
27, 7 and 7 are not pass first numbers.
That's
Pass
not what
first
you was gonna
numbers
say.
look
Go
like
ahead.
John Stockton numbers. Pass first numbers will look like 10 points, 15 assists, 6 boards. That's pass first numbers. 27, 7 and 7. Michael Jordan averaged 30, 6 and 5. Then Kobe averaged like 25, 5 and 6.
I tell you,
How you
y'all
average one
y'all
assist
some
more
great
than these dudes,
listeners.
but you pass first?
Ain't he fourth in assists though?
Who?
And don't hit me with the he played longer because Kobe played 20 years too.
Yeah, but Kobe didn't play point guard for 20 years. Kobe didn't dominate
LeBron
the
didn't
ball.
play point guard for
Listen,
20 years.
if you give me the best perennial shooters you could get me, and I dominate the ball and just drive and kick all day,
Bruh.
I could get those assists too.
See this
It ain't hard.
okay. I have a question for you.
Go ahead,
You
because I
said
want to
LeBron
speak
was
on why that Lakers team would not win. They wouldn't win
okay,
because
okay,
of
whatever.
two
We
losers.
just gonna skip past that. I have a question
Yeah.
for you.
Go ahead.
You said LeBron was a role player,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, he is.
Okay. Can you name me the two players that had 4 championships and 4 finals MVPs?
Two players that have 4 championships and 4 finals
2 role
MVP.
players.
2 role players.
Give me role
The
players.
2
I don't know
NBA
role
players
players.
in NBA history
Listen,
that have 4 championships and 4 finals MVPs.
the
I
only
just
role
want to
player
know the
I know with
names.
4 championships and 4 finals MVPs is LeBron James. He the
Let me
only
tell you
role
something.
player
I
out
ain't gonna
there.
lie to you. Just tell you
LeBron is a
something.
role player.
He's
All right,
a
let me
role
ask you a
player
question.
with 4 championships
I'm about
and
to give
4
you an
finals
example of what.
MVPs and 40,000 points. Okay, just go ahead. Go ahead.
Let's
Yeah,
be
I'm
fair.
about to give you an example
What
of
do you
what I
mean by
mean.
role player though?
Let's talk about that Lakers team. Shaquille O'Neal, LeBron James. Who the number one option? Who the role player? I'm about to go down every legend in history. Who the number one option? Who the role player? Shaq or LeBron?
Wait, so
Shaq ain't gonna be no
think
role player.
that version of Shaq is the star. He's the number one option.
if you think so I got a question. Do you think if you're not a number one option, you're a role player?
That's exactly what it is, sir.
But LeBron has always been the number one option for his team.
No. That's a lie. That's why. See, what you think the media was saying when they say Cleveland didn't get LeBron no help? Y'all winning 60 games. Larry Bird won 60 games. He won a chip. Jordan won 70 games. He won a chip. How you winning 63 games? You got a top 3 defense. I mean, the top 3 offense, top 3 defense, and your team shooting 40% from 3, and you ain't got no help.
Because your best teammate is 38-year-old Shaq, Mo Williams, and Antoine Jamison. And then also because you averaging 38, and also because you averaging 38 and losing. That I think that kind of says what
to the White Howard
about his team. Yeah, because you averaging 30.
Okay,
so what?
Let me get this
so
straight.
he's supposed to average 40, I guess. Was he supposed to average 40? Is that good enough for you?
That's what Jordan would have did. See, this is what I'm trying to get you to understand.
That's what Jordan would have did. Okay. Well,
no.
How old was LeBron in 2009? Just a question.
Nah, what you said?
How old was LeBron in 2009?
In 2009?
Yes,
I had to be like, what, 24, 25?
Okay, did Jordan have a championship at that age?
No.
Okay, what are we talking about?
We're talking about the fact that when Jordan was 24 or 25, Michael Jordan was like in his 3rd year. Scottie Pippen had just got drafted like a year before.
Yeah, and guess what? Jordan fans say that that's the best NBA
when Jordan was
season
24,
ever,
25,
right?
I just told you, Jordan spent 1 year out with a foot injury. He only played 2 years. 2 years. I don't expect nobody to win a chip, but when your team is winning 60 games, then I mean, shit, in 07, he made it to the final.
Okay, wait. So why are you changing that requirement for LeBron though? Like
I didn't change nothing. I didn't say LeBron was supposed to win. I said LeBron team was winning 60 games. Jordan team was an 8 seed.
And when he that has a lot to do with LeBron. And when he left, they had the highest win percentage drop in NBA history.
That's fine. He left. They built the shit around him.
So that has a lot to do with his floor raising ability.
No.
Yes, it does.
That's not the same. You the dude that the team was built around. These dudes are only here to play with you because collectively they make up for your weaknesses.
Okay, so what What
That's not a
weaknesses?
team that's built to be a team. That is a team that's built for LeBron James to play with.
So they looked successful because they built the team for LeBron James to play with. But without him, they have 19 wins and they have the highest win percentage drop
Because
Because
they're
in
not,
NBA
listen,
history.
pieces don't fit
listen,
together without
they're not
LeBron.
a real constructed team. They're
Yeah.
a team that's specifically put there because LeBron needs those guys to make up for his weaknesses.
So he
That's
need a
not a team that
38-year-old Shaq
that's not a
and a
team
Mo
like the
Williams,
Spurs.
and that's making up for his weaknesses.
No. The
Them
players
was his
around
best
him make up for
teammates.
his weaknesses. Why you think he
Shaq
needs a
wasn't there
D-Wade,
after
a
that
Kyrie
season.
Irving?
And 2010, 38-year-old Shaq, yeah, he was there.
I'm
And Mo
saying after
Williams.
LeBron, when LeBron left, he wasn't there anymore. He left.
Yeah, what I'm
But he
saying
was
is once
38.
LeBron was gone, that
He
team
has
is
to leave.
not a constructed team. That's the difference.
You said
It has no
LeBron left in
system.
Cleveland. You said when LeBron left, Mike Brown left.
No, when
You
LeBron
said
left to go to Miami,
Shaq
Shaq
left
also left.
30. I mean, but he was 38, 39. So I mean, I'm not really seeing the point of bringing that up.
All right, the age
It
don't
ain't like
matter,
he
bro.
38, 39-year-old Bron out here.
And then respectfully, I ain't gonna lie to you. Shaq that season wasn't like like Shaq was like
Yeah, I
giving
mean,
you
no, he wasn't.
it wasn't like that like he gave you 12 and 7 productive, but like let's not act as if like
Yeah, no,
that
that
was
wasn't
just
the
like
same
the
Shaq.
This was
that
Hold
prime
on. You
Shaq or
talking about the
something.
same Shaq?
you
You talking
know
about
what I'm
the same
saying?
Shaq that said that
He
they should
was
have beat
way
Boston, and if
worse
they
on
didn't beat
defense
Boston, he was leaving?
during those years.
Shaq said they should have beat Boston. I remember that. Boston was not
I
supposed
mean
to beat them.
that
And when you're
that's
talking
fine.
about age,
That's fine. That's fine that he said that he also says that Rudy Gobert don't deserve his money. But even still,
he don't.
like when it comes to like LeBron, like I just don't. I'm not understanding why are we holding LeBron to this standard of where he needs to play exactly like Jordan when the situation that we're
I'm about to tell you why.
discussing right now. Hold on, no, follow me. The
Yeah.
reason why we're having this whole discussion is because he's in a situation that even Jordan was not in. Like we're having a conversation of where he's playing alongside an elite big. That is something factually Jordan has never had the privilege of doing. He's playing with a guard that has upside of being a top 5 caliber player in Kobe Bryant. Jordan did the only exception to that is Scottie Pippen. Like LeBron James is in a unique situation of where it requires him to play a certain type of way. And the question that we're asking amongst ourselves and we're asking you is, can you see him be that facilitator? Can you see him have a versatile game for them to win? And you're saying no, he can't win. But the reason why he can't win is because he's not doing what Jordan would do. And it's like, why would he do what Jordan is doing
I'm
logically?
about to tell you why. Because LeBron, first of all, he can't rise to the occasion. And what you're not understanding is what I've been trying to say this whole time. In the 90s, he can't dominate the ball. Shaq not gonna let him. Kobe not gonna let him. He cannot hold the ball for 38 minutes in the 43 minutes. He can't do it. No one. He wouldn't be the LeBron James that you guys get to see today because the NBA wouldn't have needed him because Michael
Now,
Jordan
I
wouldn't have
want you to
been
know right.
Michael
I want you
Jordan
to know
yet.
right now. I want you to know right now. I have been called many names. One of them is the stat guy. I will look this up right now. So, like, give me 3 names of players
Mhm.
that did not have that type of usage that you're claiming that LeBron has. I'm finna fact check them. One of
Yo,
them is
Jordan
finna be
actually got the highest usage rate. If we really want
I'm
to
No,
know.
about.
no, no,
I'm
no,
about.
no, no,
I'm
no,
about
no,
to.
no.
I'm about to check.
Usage rate. Hold up.
Luka,
Usage rate is not having the ball in your hands.
I think Luka
Usage
has
rate
the
is how many. It's the time that plays went through you. That's not the same thing.
But
What I'm
that's
saying
part
is
of usage
LeBron
rate.
has the ball in his hand all
Wait, hold
game,
on.
bro.
Time out. What did you say the meaning for
The
usage
usage
is?
rate is plays that went through you. Plays that it don't that a play could go based off your usage rate, but you didn't even have the ball. Steph Curry is a perfect example of that. It's kind of like
Yes.
how people
No.
confuse
That's fine. That's
efficiency
fine.
with field
Usage,
goal percentage.
usage. That's fine. That's fine. I understand that. But usage is also it also quantifies how often a player is often involved in the offensive play, such as
yeah.
taking the shot, committing a turnover, or drawing fouls. That's what
Yeah,
usage. That's what usage is,
but
and
you
that's
got
what
to
we're
add
looking for.
defense to
So why
that
wouldn't
too.
we use it?
What I'm saying is your usage rate could be raised because you stole the ball on defense too, is what I'm saying. It doesn't necessarily just mean you having the ball. What I'm saying is LeBron James would not be able to dominate the ball the way he do in the game today, and everybody else is a spot-up shooter, which makes him look good, but it make everybody else look worse. That's what I'm telling you. Kevin Love looked amazing. Spot up shooter. Chris Bosh was a dog. Today, Chris
They were
Bosh is
number one
known as
options
trash.
that turned into number 3 options.
What you said?
They were number 1 options on trash teams that turned into number 3 options.
Okay,
of
well, let
course,
me
their
ask you
numbers
this.
are going to drop.
When we talk about I'm gonna use the Chicago Bulls and for example, everybody numbers look low compared to Michael Jordan, but they still say Dennis Rodman was a fool with it. Scottie Pippen did his thing. Derek Fisher was
Because
nice
the
when Kobe was
defensive
winning
end
chips.
and rebounds, not
Gasol.
because they were scorers.
Nah, listen to what I'm
And
saying.
Dennis Rodman was certainly not a scorer. He was a rebounder and a great defender.
But they played their role. They had a job to do. With LeBron, you don't know what your job is.
Okay.
You just waiting on him to drive and kick. So when you
What are
play a
you
real
basing
team,
this
you
off
gonna
of?
lose.
Where are you getting your arguments from? That's what I really want to know.
Was that the case for Miami?
I'm getting my argument from the 2007 finals, the 2011 finals, the 2015 finals, the 2017
So
finals,
every
the
finals he
2018 finals. What
lost.
you mean? This is how he lose all the time. All his losses are the same.
Sir. Was Jordan
Remember
in the
bubble,
NBA finals at
when
age
AD
22?
got hurt in the finals, they lost.
Sir. Was Jordan in the NBA finals at age 22?
No.
Okay, he wasn't. So he wasn't good enough to make the finals at age 22. Next question. Did Jordan lose Scottie Pippen
Wait,
and Dennis Rodman?
Hold up. I can't let you not being in the finals and not being good enough ain't the same. The Bulls wasn't good enough.
He was a first round. Okay, he was a first round exit at age 22. So we're going to move to the next question. He wasn't in the finals.
Who he played?
Okay, he played the Bucks in the first round and lost to them in the first round.
How many Hall of Famers that team got?
You tell me.
I think if I want to say at least 3.
Moncrief?
At least 3. How many Hall of Famers that Bulls team got that Jordan was on that first year?
Oh, so now you want to talk about the team around him?
No, I'm telling you. Look, I'm not.
No. Now you want to talk about the team he had. So
you trying to tell me Jordan lost? No, I'm telling you the Bulls.
So let me get this straight.
Just like the Cavs lost. But the Bulls, this is the difference between what I'm saying about Jordan and what I'm saying about LeBron.
Okay, go ahead.
The Bulls didn't lose because Jordan didn't rise up to the occasion. The Cavs lost because LeBron couldn't cut it. That's the difference. So
a 22-year-old LeBron was supposed to beat the Spurs. That's what you're telling me.
Yes. Had he rolled?
Okay. But Jordan at 22 couldn't beat the Bucks.
Listen. Sure. How many points did Michael Jordan average in that when he played the
29.
Bucks?
He averaged 29 versus the Bucks.
How many points did LeBron average versus
22?
Come on, bro. What the fuck am I saying? What was the age difference?
I mean, and zone defense was legal. We can't
I don't care.
overlook that.
Jordan beat zone all the time.
No, he didn't, because zone was illegal.
Yeah, they ran it all the time.
Zone was okay.
The Jordan rules was illegal too. They still did it.
So they would call it. They would call a zone. They're not going to call you running illegal defense every play because they're going to have to stop the game too much.
They didn't call that all the time.
But there's a difference between it being legal and it not being legal. There's a difference.
Yeah, I understand.
Now I want to move to my next.
Hold on. Michael Jordan averaged 22. Hold on. Jordan averaged 22 against zone defense on the Washington Wizards. I just want to put that out there.
We're gonna get one more
on
question
22 shots.
We gotta start wrapping it up.
Like Jordan didn't play against zone. He played against zone on the Wizards. He averaged 22. And right before he got injured, 22 shots. He was averaging 28 points.
You know what he said about zone? He said if zone was illegal, if it was legal in his day, he would. Yeah, and he also said he don't like playing against zone
because the game would have been different. But I'm telling you, he played against it on the Wizards when it was legal. He averaged 22, and before he got injured, he was averaging like 28, 27 points.
He averaged 22 points on 22
at the age of 40, he averaged the same numbers as rookie LeBron.
No, he didn't.
At 40, Jordan could have been rookie of the year.
All right, we just gonna move on because you wouldn't even let me get to the rest of my question.
Ask your last question, and then we're gonna.
No, go. Are we just gonna move on?
Okay.
Because Jordan fans typically do this.
Come on now.
Look, I have respect for UCW, but I mean, you're not the one I'm debating or talking to. Yeah, I mean, and I'm sure you will let me get my take off and let me rap. So I'm not talking about you.
Okay. I'm sorry, my G. Go ahead and get it off. I'm gonna be quiet.
Nah, man. We're gonna move on.
So we're going to get ready to wrap this up. We've had a pretty decent conversation about LeBron dominating the 90s. Any last thoughts by any of the panelists before we get out of here? BigNige?
The only thing I'm gonna say, and I continue to say this whenever we have these MJ and LeBron discussions, it's It's cool to if you want to say MJ's the GOAT or Bron's the GOAT or whatever, that's fine. But again, you don't have to tear down one player to uplift another. Both players are great, and both players' resumes can stand by themselves. So everything back and forth is good for clicks. I understand. But at the end of the day, you should be able to make your point without tearing down the other person. That's just my opinion.
All right. Sports talk.
Nah, I don't really got nothing to say except for, as far as LeBron dominant 90s. Yeah. And I wanted to ask you a question, but it's kind of too late. I was just gonna say, like, what if you threw LeBron on those Bulls teams instead of the scenario you gave? But you're just gonna move past that.
Okay. Well, and Casual, once again, we appreciate you showing up. You were kind of on short notice. Thanks for joining us. You got any last things? And we will definitely plug the channel.
No. I appreciate everything, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for coming. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. Thank you, Brian, for stopping by, and Truthful Troll. A spirited debate, I think. Y'all were it's always a big debate when you're talking LeBron and Michael Jordan, and especially when LeBron's playing in Jordan's era. So, it's always good conversation, no hard feelings, none of that. We all just love the game. We'll never know. So we can't get a time machine and go back. So we'll never know. But it's just great to debate and just kind of see what we think and have some differing opinions. But I do appreciate you guys for coming to join us. Hopefully we'll get the Casual back at some point. I think we're going to have some of his crew next week, and Sports Talk. Hopefully you'll be back next week, and we'll find another hot topic to debate. Ice B-ball. I got things to do. So yeah, we've gone long enough for the night. I think we got everything out we had to get out. I don't think going back and forth is just just going in a circle a lot of times when you're talking about this type of stuff. But we will be back soon. And I'll talk to you about getting back on the panel offline, and we'll work some things out. But once again, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll be back next Tuesday with some more content.
All right.